All right, what's up guys? So recently I installed the new Valvetronic Designs equal length valve support exhaust for my F80 M3 and I love it. I've had the system on for almost about 2 weeks now. I think it sounds fantastic. Check out that video if you haven't already because I go through the installation process, bunch of sound clips and some initial thoughts and impressions and opinions on the sound of the exhaust. But one minor issue that I did have after the installation was a little bit of rattling during cold start and when revving or under acceleration with the valve closed. So I noted that in the video, and when I posted it, Valvetronic Designs actually saw it, left a really nice comment, but then also included the instructions on how to fix that. Basically resetting the tension with the actuator, because that loss of tension is probably what led to the rattling in the valve, right? So wanted to make this follow-up video for a couple of different reasons. One, to go through Valvetronic's instructions, which if you read their comment, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but visual reference is nice. Also because it occurred to me that I completely forgot to cover the installation of the actuator in the original video. And you know, that's another thing that's also a pretty straightforward process, and there's plenty of videos out there already, but yeah, we gotta do our thing. And then finally, because, and the biggest one, is that I forgot to, in the original video, identify the one piece of hardware that came with the kit that I wasn't sure what it was at the time that I now know to be a fixing bow. So fixing bow is just another, design of the actuator and valve connector clip. So my system may have accidentally come with the more familiar looking coil shape, but some valve exhaust systems use the fixing bow, including BMWs. Not really sure what the advantages or disadvantages are of one over the other, but I confirmed with Valvetronic Designs, and it's actually the fixing bow that you want to use with their new F80 exhaust system. So I've already went ahead and removed the coil to be able to show them both, but we're going to go ahead and install or reset the actuator positioning in order to kind of fix that tension issue and install the fixing bow and finish all that up. So if you were doing this too, if you had the same issue, the only thing that you're going to need is a 10 mil socket for the 3 actuator bolts. And unless your car is super low to the ground, you can do this without putting it on jack stands. It would help if I remembered the key. Okay, so with the clip removed between the actuator and the valve, start the car and cycle between M1 and M2 modes. If you've reprogrammed your buttons for M1 and M2 to both be valves open, then you can just go ahead and use the actual valve flap button to cycle between efficient and sport. So we're gonna do that maybe 2, 3 times, just to, again, kind of get it to go back and forth, and then leave off with the valve closed when you turn the car off. Okay, so now that the actuator is in the closed position, we're gonna go ahead and install the fixing bow. One thing to make sure though is you wanna just make sure, hand check that the valve is all the way closed. You can get a visual confirmation by looking, in this case, in the passenger side exhaust tips and see that the valve is all the way closed. So we're gonna go ahead and just angle the fixing bow between the actuator and valve, line that up, get that sealed into place, and then when putting the bolts back in, I'm gonna start in the middle and work my way around. There's probably an actual, torque spec for these, but one, I'm not sure what it is, and two, even if I did know, I can't get my torque wrench up here, so I'm just gonna hand tighten these. All right, now that we have the actuator back in place, we just gotta go and restart the car again, cycle between M1 and M2 modes again, or efficient and sport plus. Do that 2, 3 times just to make sure that that tension is good and that the clip is securely installed, and that's it. All right guys, well that's about it. So this one was a pretty easy fix. And again, this is really only going to apply if you have a new valved exhaust system and you have a little bit of rattle there. Again, maybe just that, the positioning for the actuator got messed up or there's just insufficient tension. If you have a valved exhaust that's been on for a while and you have this problem, it still might be the fixing bow or the coil, and maybe it's just lost its tension and needs to be stretched out or replaced. So anyway, I hope you found this helpful. Feel free to give this video a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.